Hello everybody, welcome back to another Jurassic World Dominion Mattel review, and today we're going to be looking at the Extreme Damage Dimetrodon. Now, I got this figure at the same time when I got the Moros Intrepidus and the Velociraptor. I was going to say something about this review coming out at a later time, but I didn't want to spoil it. I wanted it to be a surprise. So that's why I was thinking about saying something about it before the video actually came out, but then again, I thought to myself, I wasn't going to do that because it would just be spoiling it. And even if I did do it, I'm pretty sure some of you guys probably wouldn't have seen it anyway. But anyways, let's get to the review. So we got the Jurassic World Dominion logo right there. We got the Extreme Damage logo right there. Then there's the Dimetrodon text. And there's the Dominion logo on the side. Dominion logo on the side over there. So past that. Then there's and you got the scan to unlock, the scan code that's on the figure. Then this is the Velociraptor that we reviewed last time, and so this Velociraptor, the Dimetrodon, and the Coleus are all in the same wave. And so I think I said this in the last one, but I was going to get the Coleus, but I just didn't want to because, well, the Velociraptor looked so cool, and the Dimetrodon is well, not entirely new. We got the Dimetrodon before, but anyways, let's get past that. And we got the action feature description right there with the picture, or just a render of the figure. So this is wave 1 of the Dominion Extreme Damage, and then wave 2 will be coming out. I think wave 2 of these line of figures hasn't came out yet, or at least I don't think it have. I have no clue. But then there's the Mattel logo down there. And there's the Extreme Damage logo at the top, and there's the Dimetrodon text at the top, and then there's another Dominion logo up there. But without further ado, let's take a closer look at this cool looking figure. And here is the figure taken out of the packaging. But anyways, if you guys don't know what the Dimetrodon was, it was an extinct genus of non-mammalian synapsid or something like that. I have no clue exactly what group of animals was it in. Was it a mammal or a reptile? Because I'm not completely sure if it was a reptile, but I also have no clue if it was like a mammal either. I mean, it says non-mammalian. Well, here's the thing. The data, it says non-mammalian synapsid. But anyways, this animal, it was in the group or the clade Synapsida, which was a clade of, well, as you said, non-mammalian synapsids, or just or some of the animals that were in the group were pelycosaurs, and this creature was a pelycosaur, or this synapsid was a pelycosaur. And it also included a few other species in that clade. But anyway, this animal, it lived during the Permian period. I think it lived during the early stages of the Permian period, which was 272 million to 295 million years ago. And that was a very very long time ago. That was before the Triassic period, and the Triassic period was around 250 million years ago. So that was like right before that. But anyways, oh yeah, and just to let you know, this thing was not a dinosaur. It had nothing to do with dinosaurs. I don't even know if this thing was a reptile or not. But anyways, let's just get to the figure review. So we have gotten Dimetrodon figures before in the past, and we're also getting new ones not right now in this lineup, in the Dominion lineup of Mattel figures. But the first one that we gotten was way back in Dino Rivals, and I think it was a Savage Strike Dimetrodon, and it was a completely different mold than this one. Also, the mold looked even worse than this one because this one actually looks better than that one. And this is the second Dimetrodon figure that we got. And now the third one that we're getting is, I think it's with the pack. It's with the Alan Grant and Dimetrodon pack. If you look for that pack, it looks exactly the same as this one, but it actually looks more natural looking. But anyways, so let's start off with the paint apps or the colors. So I gotta say, I like the colors that they picked for this one. I really like how they picked green, like the light green. I really like the let me zoom in the camera. Where they got, if you look closely at the face, you can see a little bit of dark, I think that's black or just gray markings of paint on the face, which I really dig for. I really like how they did that. Then you got the bumps that runs along the whole entire body from the neck to the tail, and then it goes all the way down there, and it just keeps going, and it goes all the way down there to the tip of the tail, and then the cell, the spine-like cell that's on its back. They put it on the cell. They also put some gray spots that's also on the cell, and I really like how they did that. But it keeps going. Sorry about that, but it keeps going, and then it just goes, and then it stops right there where the action feature is. Oh yeah, and also here is the code for the Jurassic World Facts app. If you want that, just scan it right there. And this will be something else. This is for the action feature, the extreme damage action feature. We'll get to that in a second. But they didn't even have to stop it right there just for those two parts of the cell. They could have just let it keep going, and then it would actually look better. But they partially even did it. But then if you look on the other side, it's the same thing. That they also, the gray spots that goes underneath right there by the cell, they put it there. And then I really like how I think they could have just, actually no, there's nothing much wrong with the paint apps. I'm not gonna say anything negative about the paint apps. I think the paint, well, what they could have done, well, the paint apps are okay, but what they could have done was have the gray color go down on the side, then make it go on the legs, and they could have put a little bit more on the head as well, and then also it would have looked really good if they put it on the tail, which they didn't do. I don't know why they didn't do that. But and anyway, if you look under the jaw and the neck, there is a whiter color that runs along the jaw and the neck, and then there's a joint right there. They have no color underneath the body of the figure, except for they only have one slab of color in this whole other region of the body, but over here it's only one pitch of color compared to everything else in the underbody. But so yeah, I think they could have made the figure look better with the gray, but they only put the gray on the sail, and right there, that's right there of the sail or body sail. They could have did a better job with the color, but I gotta say the figure does look kind of cool though. So yeah, there is the, oh, sorry, there is the paint apps of this figure. Okay, now let's move on to the articulation of this figure. So first, let's start off with the neck. The neck, it can go down like that. It can also go up like that. It can do a 360 spin. You can turn it around 360 if you want to. Then the jaw articulation, you can open up that jaw really wide, like that. So yeah, there's the jaw. Then if you look inside the mouth, there's the tongue. It gives it that wet look, the glossy look. And then right there, that's where the rest of the body is, so they can actually attach it to the... They made it look like that. They missed the spot right there of the paint to represent the tongue. The roof of the mouth is green. It was supposed to be pink, but they just didn't paint that, but it's not really a big deal because you're not going to be seeing that part of the figure all the time. And also about the teeth. I feel like that the teeth are too small. They could have made the teeth a little bit bigger and a little bit more pointy looking. But then again, this figure is small, so how are they going to do that? But here's the thing. They could have just made the teeth a little bit longer. Like, the teeth are like really short and they look like little bumps in the mouth. So, but it doesn't look that bad. It looks okay still. But anyway, the articulation, it goes like this. The tail can rotate 360. Here's something funny. Before I started recording the second part, after I opened the box, I was trying to make sure all the articulation was okay. But then I tried twisting its tail, and the tail was stuck. So I twisted it really hard. I'm like, does this figure have tail articulation? Like, it was just funny for some reason where it got stuck for a second, and then I twisted it, and it was fine. So now I can twist the tail now. But anyway, the tail it can rotate 360. Then let's go to the limbs and the arms and the legs of the figure. It can rotate 360 as well. It has a little bit of swivel articulation as well. So you can do this. You can't rotate 360 because, well, it's not like the arms are like in the weird position where they're supposed to be for them to do 360. But anyways, you can also do the same thing. I think the back leg can do 360. Yes, it can. All right, that's good. You got some. The back leg can actually do a 360 spin. And it has a little bit of swivel articulation. So I guess that's good. Then let's move on to the other side of the legs. You can move those 360. But again, that one you can't. But the back leg, again, I guess you can do that one as well. And yeah. So yeah. There is the... crap. There goes with the articulation of the figure. And now let's move on to the action feature of this, well, sorry about that, of the figure. So, again, the scan code, you press down this button on the cell, you do this to its extreme damage, and there it is. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and also they could have, again, they forgot to paint. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little bit tired right now, but they forgot to paint the claws. Like, they didn't paint the claws at all, like none of them. There are so many claws on this creature's legs, and they didn't paint a single claw. So I think that's just weird how they just didn't do that. So, but yeah. There goes the... So if you press it, it changes to green, and then it changes to bloody red. So yeah, there goes the extreme damage action feature. Now let's start off with some comparisons of this figure. First, let's start off with its wave mate, the extreme damage Velociraptor. And now here is a quick comparison with the Moros Intrepidus. And here's another comparison with the War Strikers Triceratops. And now here is a comparison with the Roar Attack Pierce the Kentrosaurus from Dinoscape. And now another comparison to the Primal Attack Toro the Carnotaurus from Camp Cretaceous. And now for the big and last comparison to this Dimetrodon figure is the Stomp and Escape T-Rex from Dinoscape. So my final thoughts on this figure, I gotta say, I like it. It is a huge improvement from the one that came out way back in Dino Rivals. It looks way better. It has a new mold, new design, a totally different design. It's just a lot better. But there is another, like I said earlier in the video, I'm just gonna spoil this anyway, but there is another Dimetrodon figure that we got. It was in the Alan Grant pack in the Dominion lineup, this one, and it looks a little better than this one, I gotta say. I'm not gonna tell you what it looks like, but I will say that it is the same mold as this one, but I'm not gonna tell you the colors of that one and this one because it would just be spoiling it. So that's all I'm gonna tell you for that one. But anyway, with the final thoughts, I say that I enjoyed this figure. I really like how they brought back this species, and I really like how they brought back this animal in the Dominion lineup, because the last time we got the Dimetrodon figure was way back in 2019, which was 3 years ago, and that was in the Dino Rivals, like I just said. And now they brought back this Dimetrodon figure, and it's actually a lot better than the last one. But the last one that came out way back in 2019, I wish I had that one. That one looked cool. It had cool colors too, just like this one. I'm not gonna lie, the colors on the previous Dimetrodon figure was better, because yes, I think it had the same colors as this one on the frill, but the overall body color was like, I think it was blue. I don't remember. I think it was blue, but yeah. So yeah, I like how they did the articulation, but overall, what I don't like is how they just continue on with the colors on the sail, but then it just stops right there. They could have just kept going onto the frill, and also with the paint apps with the gray that's on the body, they only put it like right there, that's right next to the frill, and they did the same thing on the other side too. They didn't even have to do that. They could have just made it keep on going. Or, you know what they could have done? They could have made like the whole entire body of the figure like spotted green and gray at the same time. It could have looked way better. Oh yeah, and also what they could have done was they could have put a little bit more white on the underside of the neck. They barely even put it on the underside of the neck. They could have put it right there too. Because the thing that I don't like is that, well, some of the body is just plain green with no other color. They could have just added more gray. That way it wouldn't look so blank and lazy. But I gotta say, the figure does look nice. I'm really happy of the mold that they did. I'm really happy of the design and the huge step up from the last one. And yeah, that's like the main reason why I like this figure. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this review, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads, and follow my Twitter and Instagram. And, you know, just watch out for more reviews and more videos coming up in the future. But in the meantime, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.